Hello people of YouTube, how are you today? I'm okay, a bit tired like always, but I'm okay. The last video was about my first step into fine arts and I talked about how I tried to express my food disorders. So, what did I do then?
What?
The thing is, I didn't get so much feedback about these drawings. I mostly posted them on Instagram and I didn't really get comments or any kind of feedbacks actually. And I spotted 3 potential reasons why. The first one would be I didn't manage to reach the right audience, because now my work is kind of quite niche. Food disorders are very niche, fortunately again. And this kind of outsider art is, quite niche. And again, as I said in the first video, I don't have any network in this part of the artwork, like in fine arts.
I know you're out there somewhere. I just haven't figured out how to get to you. But believe me, I will.
So that would be the first reason why. The second one would be I didn't get far enough into the art process to, get interest. All these drawings, they were just doodles, like doodles in a sketchbook, but they were not a real art project. And the third one would be that actually nobody cares. I mean, that was such a personal feelings, that maybe, nobody cares but me because nobody feels that. If I don't talk about something you can relate to, well, you probably won't want to go further into the conversation, you know what I mean? So, that's a possibility that just nobody cares, actually. Gosh, neighbors. So because I didn't get much feedback, I didn't really know what to do, like should I stop or should I keep going? Will I finally find people to connect with by going further into that work, or will I only disconnect with people more and more, So I quit the food disorders part for a bit, but I kept working on anxiety. I tried to enlarge this uncomfortable feeling I have toward my body to a more general and mental discomfort. I don't only suffer from food disorders, I actually suffer from other mental health issues, and one of my biggest problem is that I have a lot of trouble to put limits in my life in general, and as nice and smiley and bubbly I can be, I also very often feel completely overwhelmed and drained by just interacting with people. I am a perfectionist kind of person, but it's not that perfectionism about the way you look or the way things are put in order in your place, or like cleaning everything all the time or stuff like that. Actually my place is quite messy, so it's not about that. It's more like there is no hierarchy in the different domains of my life. It's being a good worker as well as being a good family member, like a good daughter, a good granddaughter. and being a good friend and being a good lover and being a good renter and
2 hours later.
being a good citizen, like everything. Yeah, that is so exhausting, so tiring.
I mean, it's a lot of responsibility looking after so many people.
I was actually the same younger at school, like every discipline had the same level of importance too, like I had to be good in math and in French and in English and in sports, in music, in drawings.
And biodiesel!
I wasn't good at everything, but I tried so hard, and not being as good in mathematics than in French, for instance, that was such a drama, that was so terrible in my life.
This is unacceptable!
Everything is so equally important that, ça grignote en fait vachement sur mon espace personnel. J'ai l'impression que mon espace se réduit tellement tous les autres trucs prennent de la place en fait sur mon espace finalement.
Just look at that face. That constitutes harassment, so give him some space.
So yeah, I have this feeling of being trapped and just seek for space and seek for air, and I just want to escape. And this is completely related to my food disorders, but it's not only about my food disorders. You can see it's a more global emotion. And I know that a lot of other people can feel like that, like trapped and wanting to escape and seeking for life, like for being more alive, you see. At the same time I started to make these drawings, I also started to get interested in feminism. So I read books and I watched documentaries, and I could see myself, in these women's portraits and words, you see. And I started to think, actually, these emotions and feelings may be shared by all the women on the planet, So I kept doing research, and from there, everything got crazy. From feminism, I went to black feminism, then to intersectional feminism, then eco-feminism. And I spotted the same emotions, again and again in every of these fights. From there, I went to Black Power movement and ecology and eco-grief. And again, the same feeling of not having enough space to live. You see, it may sound so teenage, but I felt so connected to the word at that point. It's like when you are in this giant concert hall and you are not only feeling the emotions of your favorite song, the music and the lyrics, but you are also feeling your emotions repeated in thousands of other people around you.
Oh, yeah! Yeah!
This is so powerful, know what I mean? So I was a bit sad to feel connected to the word by the down range of emotions, but I was still happy to feel that connection because it is always reassuring and also galvanizing to feel part of something, you know what I mean? And then COVID-19 happened. Suddenly people are confined at home all over the world, and we all feel trapped physically and mentally. Didn't expect to feel connected to that point to all the planet about through that feeling of being trapped. That is definitely too much. And then, as that was not enough, George Floyd's murder happened. His muffled words, "I can't breathe," resonated so loudly in my mind. It sounded like a terribly striking symbol of oppression and search for life. And then I got depressed.
Oh. Yeah.
At that point, I was seeing and feeling distress everywhere, and I just felt so useless and so powerless. But after a while, I was like, well, you wanted to be an artist to be able to talk about the word around. Well, this is the word. So, what are you gonna say now? I was determined more than ever to play my part in being citizen of the world through art. But again, how do I want to express that global feeling? Or do I want to get into a more political form of art? Or do I want to balance the emotions by enlightening the good and beautiful things that also happened at the same time in the same word? I could see how all the topics that mattered to me were related to each other, were connected to each other, and a bunch of new projects just popped in my mind, and I was like,
I can imagine everything!
but I also knew that I couldn't talk about everything at the same time. At least not for now. I realized I couldn't stop myself to use an applied arts kind of method, needing to precisely identify my objectives before starting to do something, you know? I also realized that I was overthinking a lot.
Am I my feelings? Do I exist because I can't stop feeling?
I already said that I am a perfectionist kind of person. You add to that the studies I made and the creation process I learned, and you can be sure that my natural first reaction will be to plan ahead the more things possible to reach the most perfect final product possible. You know what I mean? Like the most perfect answer to the problem. You know what I mean? And I don't think this is the right way to broach fine arts project. Not saying that I shouldn't think about anything at all, but I was clearly overthinking here. I decided I will think about my intentions and position one project at a time instead of trying to set general guidelines for all my future projects.
The future is in the past. Onward, Teoshiba!
I needed to clear my thoughts and I really needed to start making stuff. So what I did is I decided to use tools I had no experience with, and I decided to start something without planning anything before. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was happy to get out of my comfort zone. And that is what I'm gonna show you in the next video.
Okay, fair.
If you like this video, feel free to like and comment. as I said at the beginning of this video, it is much appreciated to get feedback on what you share with others. So if you want to say something or to ask anything, feel free to leave a comment. And I wish you a very nice day or night. Bye!